Pro-Kanċillier, il-Perit Kalmenovella, Proretturi, il-Professur Inġinier Simon Fabri, il-Professur Tanja Sammud Bonnici, Sinjuri. Merħba għal din iċ-ċerimonja ta' gradwazzjoni is-16 waħda minn sensiela ta' 25 ċerimonja ta' gradwazzjoni fil-livell ta' postgraduate. Huwa ta' sodisfazzjon għall-Università ta' Malta li nħabbru li ser jiggradwaw b'aktar minn 2600 student f'din is-sessjoni ta' gradwazzjonijiet għas-snin 2020, 2021 u 2022. Fosthom hemm 113 dottorat li minnhom 88 huma dottorati ta' riċerka fuq oqsma varji. Nibdew din iċ-ċerimonja billi nistieden lill-Professur Mark Harwood, id-Direttur tal-Istitut tal-Istudji Ewropej, sabiex indirizzana. Il-Professur Mark Harwood.
Pro-Chancellor, Pro-Rectors, members of the academic body, distinguished guests, and of course, graduates. It is tempting, in the days before a general election, to speak about politics, but this ceremony marks something much more enduring, as today celebrates the successful completion of your postgraduate studies. While the election will have an immediate impact on our lives over the next 5 years, as graduates you have the potential to contribute and change Maltese society in a myriad of ways over a far longer period of time. I hope you are successful. And I hope we can continue to support each other in our individual and collective work as a university and as alumni. That said, maintaining links with alumni remains a challenge, in particular when you consider the diversity of degree programs and therefore the diversity of graduates as represented here today. Hence, I would like to speak about the challenge this diversity of institutes, centres and schools represents and how we can strengthen our collective alumni network so as to ensure that your graduation today is not your last interaction with academia. Today, graduands gathered here represent the Faculty of Education and 6 separate institutes, centres and schools on campus, places where students can pursue highly varied but often highly specialised studies. In this way, the university hosts 3 schools, including performing arts, 13 centres, including centres for distributed ledger technologies and for environmental education and research, and 18 institutes, including institutes for the design and development of thinking, the Mediterranean Academy of Diplomatic Studies, as well as European Studies. The degree programs offered by these academic bodies embrace every aspect of academia, our country, and our daily lives, and enhance the potential of our society going forward. Our institute exemplifies this. The Institute for European Studies was established 30 years ago, and with a student body averaging 150 students, over 1,000 students have graduated from our institute, and they have gone on to contribute widely to our country, representing Malta abroad as ambassadors and diplomatic staff, populating the Maltese public service, working in the media and with NGOs, as well as sitting as members of both the Maltese and the European Parliament. It is no understatement to say that our graduates have made the reality of EU membership possible, and some of you here will soon be continuing that work. All of you here today, whether through education, through the arts, through public service or through private industry, have the potential to improve the quality of life of our country and beyond. However, the numerous institutes, centres and schools can often find themselves isolated by their specialisation without the overarching collegial space provided by a faculty. I believe that it is time for the university to rethink its relationship with institutes, centres and schools, providing a space for the exchange of best practice and better representation. I believe a first step would be the appointment of a rector's delegate for institutes, centres and schools to provide a forum for directors and staff to meet and discuss common issues and support the work of our representatives on Senate. That said, the institutes, centres and schools also warrant a wider representation on Senate. At present, the 18 institutes, 13 centres and 3 schools are represented as a whole by only 2 delegates, while each faculty is represented by their dean and an additional member of staff. The Institute for European Studies has more students registered on its courses than some faculties, and yet we do not have a single seat on Senate, not even half, 1/3, or 10% of a seat. I wish to stress those representing us are doing a sterling job, but also an impossible one if they are expected to represent such a large and diverse group of academic bodies. Institutes, centres and schools should have an increased number of seats on Senate to reflect the student body we teach. This brings me to my second point, expanding our relations with past students, our alumni. Alumni comes from the Latin meaning to nourish, and we should remind ourselves of this as we try to consolidate our alumni network. Too often students graduate, and while they might often look back at their time studying with nostalgia, they rarely continue to engage with their alma mater. The University of Malta, as its counterparts abroad, is seeking to bridge that gap, and the University of Malta's current strategic plan has several proposals to facilitate links with alumni, including the designation of ambassadors, setting up chapters overseas, and creating a dialogue with alumni. While an overarching strategy is beneficial, alumni relations depend on faculties, institutes, centres and schools taking the initiative and not waiting for central administration to coordinate this. We must invest more in creating an inner circle of past students who wish to remain engaged, bringing them together, helping and encouraging them to outreach, to organise and to recruit other alumni. Student representatives are an integral part of our work, and there is no reason why they cannot continue to undertake this role after graduation, especially in programme reviews. A focus on on-campus alumni can also provide a good place to start and to centre the establishment of alumni associations. Ultimately, we must ask what we wish to achieve from strengthening the alumni network, and a central aim for our institute will be consolidating the relationship as a two-way street. We wish to have our alumni join us by informing and contributing to our academic work, the university experience of our current students, as well as the social outreach we can achieve as a whole university. Therefore, I would like to conclude by congratulating all of you on the successful completion of your studies, but also to extend an invitation to stay in touch, to see your graduation as a new stage in your links with the University of Malta, a new stage which will help us articulate, understand and populate as we collectively develop this enhanced alumni network. Thank you.
Nistidinkom issa tisimgħu l-indirizz tar-rappreżentant tal-gradwati s-Sur Jacob Kallus li se jingħata l-grad ta' Master of Arts in European Politics, Economics and Law. Is-Sur Jacob Kallus.
Dear Pro-Chancellor, Pro-Rector, Pro-Rectors, members of the Council of Senate and Senates of the University of Malta, Deans and Directors, members of the academic body, academic registrar, administrative and technical staff, fellow graduates, classmates, and friends. Little did I imagine that I would have the opportunity to speak in front of all of you here today, just as much as most of us never thought we would have made it this far. The phrase which often comes to mind when progressing from one academic year to another is simply and as always, we made it. And yes, we did. Needless to say, it comes as no surprise that the completion of an academic journey brings with it such a reaction, and one cannot blame students for expressing relief and satisfaction once they have completed their course of studies successfully. One can imagine a stressed student's itinerary. So many sleepless nights, piles of crumpled papers, bins filled with overflowing used coffee cups, and probably a bit of Netflix binge watching wouldn't go amiss either. It is only after so much work that the end of an academic journey is followed by a well-deserved and well-earned celebration. And that is what we have come here to do today. However, this need not necessarily be the end of that journey, but may very well be the start of a new one. When progressing from one academic year to another, I am always reminded that the desire to acquire more and more knowledge is incessant, regardless of age. I have always believed that acquiring such knowledge is, in and of itself, rewarding, just as much as the desire to do so is as well. It's easy to say that the outcome of such a journey is just a big piece of paper with words in Latin which you might never understand, and the destiny of which is to remain framed on a wall. Nevertheless, the end result is not just that. What we have achieved today would not have been possible without resilience, determination, and sheer grit. Nonetheless, having managed to achieve so much throughout a pandemic certainly says a lot as well. There just so happens to be a little bit which I can add in this regard, as I am myself an individual who lives on the autism spectrum. I say that I live with autism and don't suffer from it, as I feel that whilst it does indeed present me with a number of difficulties and challenges, it also gifts me with a lot of strengths. Having come this far was a challenge, as was the case throughout my schooling, getting into sixth form, getting into and through university. This would not have been possible without having a shoulder to lean on in the form of my family and friends, who I love and care about so much, and who helped me in not only accepting my story, but telling it as well. This story has taught me many things, but above all, it's taught me that disability is not something to be ashamed of, but is something to be embraced. A part of this story also includes me learning about European politics, economics, and law. And when reflecting, I cannot help but think about the state in which Europe finds itself today. Europe goes beyond the EU, and the threat which Ukraine is currently facing has gone beyond just Europe. When seeing a sovereign and independent country under attack, it is not the time to be silent, but it is the time to defend values which we hold most dear: peace, justice, and solidarity, amongst others. What took over 70 years to achieve must not be forgotten in a few weeks. And what is happening in Ukraine right now must never be forgotten years or decades from now. When reflecting on what we have achieved, today I realize that this achievement is not defined by education alone, but it is also accompanied by another crucial element in a student's life: activism. At the University of Malta, this takes several forms, ranging from student organizations to faculty-based organizations and student representatives on the University Council, Senate, faculty boards, and boards of studies across the university. These activities are a valuable component of a student's life on campus. Apart from the pride and joy that we get out of being within these organizations, they also serve as a means for all of us to make immeasurable contributions towards society. Society is in fact what we learn about at university, what it is composed of, and what leaves an impact on that specific territory. It is activism which enables us to leave an imprint on society, just like how our families and friends have left an imprint on us. We have also left an imprint on others. A massive thank you goes out to our families and friends for being there for us throughout this journey, and for all the bonds which we have made over time and which we shall surely treasure forever. Ultimately, education and activism are not at odds with each other, but create a synthesis, as they are two sides of the same coin. To conclude, what they both have in common is that they enable us to make a difference in someone's life, and for a difference we made in ours. We did not wait until tomorrow to make a difference, because we are bringing about the necessary change today. Thank you, and congratulations to you all.
Loti tal-gradi ta' Master fil-Fakultà tal-Edukazzjoni, Master in Access to Education. Preclarissimi kandidati, placuit autoritatibus universitati moderandi, prefectis dinius vos declarare, quel laurea insignibus decoremini. Sponsor, Professor Colin Callejo.
Tuum in conspectum magnifice rector, adducimus os lectissimos candidatus, omnibus laurea insignibus mores tutoque maiorum a te honestandos, qui a consiliaris et senatoribus uius universitatis dinissimis presentati, temox rogabunt ut tibi attributa potestate, eos magistros reunitis atque in eius modi censu cooptatos adscriptosque nomines atque edicas.
Andrew Camilleri. Andrew Camilleri ġie l-ewwel fil-kors tiegħu.
Ut itaque Deus ex oratus vertat bene, nobis attributa auctoritate, te magistrum eo iure censeri, et esse quo optimos sunt creati ali edicimus et pronunciamus, tibique omnibus honoribus cum laurea coniunctis, fruendi et utendi facultatem facimus. Capeam collate tibi dignitatis ornamenta, et quid illa instituto maiorum portendant intellege. Gestas sic togam hanc ut norint omnes te in magistrorum collegium allectum esse. Sit tibi liberalis pilleus hic, veluti ornamentum laureum, quo donabantum post certamen victores. Quant opere vero te de dignitate adepta in totius academici coetus nomine gratuleremum, testetur tibi hic noster amplexus.
Lenja Formosa. Omar Rababa. Master of Arts in Educational Leadership and Management. Preclarissimi candidati, placuit autoritatibus universitati moderandi, prefectis dinios vos declarare, quel laurea insignibus decoremini. Sponsor, Professor Colin Callejo.
Tuum conspectum magnifice rector, adducimus os lectissimus candidatos, omnibus laurea insignibus more institutoque maiorum a te honostandos, qui a consiliaris et senatoribus uius universitatis dignissimi presentati, temox rogabunt ut tibi attributa potestate, eius magistros reunitis atque in eius modi censu cooptacos adscriptosque nomines atque edicas.
Anne-Marie Zammit. Anne-Marie Zammit ġiet l-ewwel fil-kors tagħha.
Ut itaque Deus exoratus vertat bene, nobis attributa auctoritate, te magistram eo iure censeri et esse quo optimos sunt creati alii edicimus et pronunciamus, tibique omnibus honoribus, cum laurea coniunctis, fruendi et utendi facultatem facimus. Capeam collate tibi dignitatis ornamenta, et quid illa instituto maiorum portendant inter lege. Gesta sic togam hanc, ut norint omnes te in magistrarum collegium allectam esse. Sit tibi liberalis pilleus hic, veluti ornamentum laureum, quo donabantum post certamen victores. Quant opere vero te de dignitate adepta in totius academici coetus nomine gratulermur, testetur tibi hic noster amplexus.
Cheryl Grech. Carl Grech. Master of Arts in Museum Education, in absentia Janika Buhajar. Antonia Sammut. Master of Arts in Vocational Education. Preclarissimi candidati, placuit autoritatibus universitati moderandi, prefectis dignos vos declarare che laurea insignibus decoremini. Sponsor, Professor Colin Calleja.
Tuum in conspectum magnifice rector, adducimus os lectissimus candidatos, omnibus laurea insignibus more institutquoque maiorum a te honostandos, qui a consiliaris et senatoribus uius universitatis dignissimis presentati, temox rogabunt ut tibi attributa potestate, eos magistros reunitus atque in eius modi censu cooptatos adscriptosque nomines atque edicas.
Roxanne Bonello. Roxanne Bonello ġiet l-ewwel fil-kors tagħha.
Ut itaque Deus, exoratus vertat bene, nobis attributa auctoritate, te magistram eo iure censeri, et esse quo optimo sunt creati ali, edicimus et pronunciamus, tibique omnibus honoribus, cum laurea conjunctis, fruendi et utendi facultatem facimus. Capeam collate tibi dignitatis ornamenta, et quid illa instituto maiorum portendant intellege. Gesta sic togam hanc, ut norint omnes te in magistrarum collegium allectam esse. Sit tibi liberalis pilleus hic, veluti ornamentum laureum, quo donabantur post certamen victores. Quant opere vero te de dignitate adepta in totius academici coetus nomine gratulemur, testetur tib hic noster amplexus.
Liana Juice. Ruby Bartolo. Michela De Bono. Catherine Muscat. Diane Sakasan. In absentia, Rosemary Saliba. Siobhan Zerafa. Master of Education, preclarissimi candidati, placuit autoritatibus universitati moderandi, prefectus dinius vos declarare che laurea insignibus decoremini. Sponsor, Professor Colin Calleja.
Tuum in conspectum magnifice rector, adducimus os lectissimus candidatus, omnibus laurea insignibus more institutoque maiorum a te honestandos, qui a consiliaris et senatoribus uius universitatis dignissimi presentati, te mox rogabunt ut tibi attributa potestate eos magistros reunitis, atque in eius modi censu cooptatos ad scriptosque nomines atque edicas.
Joseph Gauci. Joseph Gauci ġil-ewwel fil-kors tiegħu bil-qasam tal-istudju tiegħu ikun Teaching of Ethics in Schools.
Ut itaque Deus, exoratus vertat bene, nobis attributa auctoritate, te magistrum eo iure censeri, et esse quo optimo sunt creati, alii edicimus et pronunciamus, tibique omnibus honoribus cum laurea conjunctis, fruendi et utendi facultatem facimus. Capeam collate tibi dignitatis ornamenta, et quid illa instituto maiorum portendat intellege. Gesta sic togam hanc, ut norit omnes te in magistrorum collegium allectum esse. Sit tibi liberalis pilleus hic veluti ornamentum laureum, quo donabantum post certamen victores. Quant opere vero te dignitate adepta in totius academici coetus nomine gratulemur, testetur tibi hic noster amplexus.
Computing Education, Sara Martina Farrugia. Science Education, Melvin Kauki. Patrick Chantar. Michelle Maria Miru. Sara Farrugia. In absentia, James Magro. Rachel Potch. Eric Zara. Daryl Zamit. Teaching of Ethics in Schools, Luca Borg Pardo. Loti tal-grad ta' Master in Creativity and Innovation fl-Istitut Edward de Bono għal ħsieb kreattiv u l-innovazzjoni. Preclarissimi candidati, placuit autoritatibus universitati moderandi, prefectis dinios vos declarare che laurea insignibus decoremini. Sponsor, Dr. Leoni Baldacchino.
Tuum in conspectum, magnifico rector, Adducimus hos lectissimus candidatos, omnibus laurea insignibus, more institutoque maiorum, a te honestandos qui, a consiliaris et senatoribus, huius universitatis dignissimis presentati, te mox rogabunt ut tibi attributa potestate, eos magistros renuncies, atque in eius modi censu cooptatos, adscriptosque nomines atque edicas.
Jasmin Antonia Riebel li ġiet l-ewwel fil-kors tagħha.
Ut itaque Deus exoratus vertat bene, nobis attributa auctoritate, te magistram eo iure censeri, et esse quo optimos sunt creati alii edicimus et pronunciamus, tibique omnibus honoribus cum laurea conjunctis, fruendi et utenti facultatem facimus. Capeam collate tibi dignitatis ornamenta, et quid illa instituto maiorum portendant intellege. Gesta sic togam hanc, ut norint omnes te, in magistrarum collegium allecta messe. Sit tibi liberaris pilleus hic, veluti ornamentum laureum, quo donabantum post certamen victores. Quant opere vero te de dignitate adepta in totius academici coetus nomine gratulemur, testetur tib hic noster amplexus.
Desiree Marie Cassar. In absentia Kit Coleiro, Shari Fischer u Jean-Carl Mikallef Grimaud. Loti tal-grat ta' Master of Arts in European Politics, Economics and Law fl-Istitut għall-Istudji Ewropej. Preclarissimi kandidati, placuit autoritatibus universitati moderandi, prefectis dignius vos declarare che laurea insignibus de Ceremonies. Sponsor, Professor Mark Harwood.
Tuum in conspectum magnifica rectum, adducimus hos lectissimis candidatus, omnibus laurea insignibus, more institutoque maiorum et honestandus qui, a consiliaries et senatoribus hoius universitatis dignissimis presentati, te mox rogabunt ut, tibi attributa potestate, eo magistros renuntius, atque in esse modi, censu coptates, adscriptosque nominis atque edicas.
Maria Tart. In absentia Christiana Zoppardi u Owen Bell. Nicole Briffa. Chiara Marie Calleja. Jacob Kallus. Anthony Kassar. Thomas Kassar Ruggier. Mariah De Bono. Russell John De Bono. Daniel Alloul. Jordi Farrugia. In absentia, David Fenech. Nicole Galia. Delton Manjon. Eman Portelli. Jonathan Sant. Gabriel Shuberras. Nicole Seguna. In absentia, Henning Steinbeck. Matthew Toma. Matthew Schwierep. Giulia Zammid Galia Testaferrata. Ser nifqu għal ftit minuti mill-loti ta' ċertifikati sabiex nisimgħu lil Malta Visual and Performing Arts School Clarinet Quartet. Inkomplu bloti ta' ċertifikati. Loti tal-gradi ta' master fl-Akkademja Mediterranja għall-istudji diplomatiċi. Master of Arts in Diplomatic Studies. Preclarissimi kandidati. Placuit autoritatibus universitati moderandi. Prefectus dinius vos declarare che laurea insignibus decoremini. Sponsor, Professor Stephen Calleja.
Tum in conspicto magnifica rector, adicissimus electissimus candidatus, omnibus laurea insignibus more instituta aqua maiorum, a te honestandum qui, a conciliaris senatoribus uius universitatis dignissimis presentati, te mox rogabit ut, tibi attribute potestate, eius maestros renuncius, atque in aius modi, censu cooptatus adscriptos quae nominis atque edicas.
Matthew Mikallef Sengen li ġie l-ewwel fil-kors tiegħu.
Ut itaque Deus exoratus vertat bene, nobis attributa auctoritate, te magistrum eo iure censeri et esse quo optimo sunt creati, ali edicimus et pronunciamus, tibique omnibus honoribus, cum laurea conjunctis, fruendi et utendi facultatem facimus. Capeam collate tibi dignitatis ornamenta, et quid illa instituto maiorum portentat intellege. Gesta sic togam hanc, ut norint omnes te in magistrorum collegium allectum esse. Sit tibi libellaris pilleus hic, veluti ornamentum laureum, quo donabantum post certamen victores. Quant opere vero te dignitate adepta in totius academiti coetus nomine gratulemur, testetur tibi hic noster amplexus.
James Cini. In absentia Kylie Galia. Daniel Mallia. In absentia Nicholas Manjon. Luke Mifsud. Susanna Mishikova. In absentia Esther Cortez. James Campbell St. John Ridd. Shilona Spiteri. Tyron Toma. Amon Derek Vella. Christina Marie Vella. Claire Zamit. Master of Diplomacy. Preclarissimi candidati. Placuit autoritatibus universitati moderandi. Prefectis dinius vos declarare che laurea insignibus decoremini. Sponsor, Professor Stephen Calleja.
Tum in conspicto magnifica rector adducissimus electissimus candidatos, omnibus laurea insignibus more institute aqua maiorum, a te annustandum qui, a conciliaris et senatoribus uius universitatis dignissimis presentati, te mox rogabit ut, tibi attribute potestate, eius magistros in nuncius atque in eius modi censu cooptatus adscriptus quae nominis atque edicas.
Manal Benani li ġiet l-ewwel fil-kors tagħha.
Ut itaque Deus, exoratus vertat bene, nobis attributa auctoritate, te magistram eo iure censeri, et esse quo optimos sunt creati, ali edicimus et pronunciamus, tibique omnibus honoribus, cum laurea conjunctis, fruendi et utendi facultatem facimus. Capeam collate tibi dignitatis ornamenta, et quid illa instituto maiorum portendant intellege. Gesta sic togam hanc, ut norint omnes te in magistrarum collegium allectam esse. Sit tibi liberalis pilleus hic veluti ornamentum laureum, quod ornamentum post certamen victores. Quant opere vero te dignitate adepta in totius academici coetus nomine gratulemur, testetur tibi hic noster amplexus.
Firas Abu Sal. Kulu Dabu Garbier. Laila Altujman. In absentia Ana Haik. Mairna Khalil. In absentia Zaina Masri, Tida Tambudu u Mohammed Tauti. Salma Zairi. Loti tal-grad ta' Master of Music fl-Iskola tal-Arti Performattiva. Preclarissimi kandidati. Placuit autoritatibus universitati moderandi. Prefectis Dinius vos declarare che laurea insinibus decremini. Sponsor Dr. Maestro John Gallia.
Tuum in conspectum magnifice rector, adducimus os lectissimos candidatos, omnibus laurea insignibus, more institutoque maiorum a te honestandos, qui a consiliaris et senatoribus uius universitatis dignissimis presentati. Temox rogabunt ut tibi attributa potestate, eos magistros renuncies, atque in eius modi censu cooptatos adscriptosque, nomines atque edicas.
Edward Mifsud li ġie l-ewwel fil-kors tiegħu.
Ut itaque Deus, exoratus vertat bene, nobis attributa auctoritate, te magistrum eo iure censeri, et esse quo optimos sunt creati, ali edicimus et pronunciamus, tibique omnibus honoribus, cum laurea conjunctis, fruendi et utenti facultatem facimus. Capeam collate tibi dignitatis ornamenta, et quid illia instituto maiorum portentat intellege. Gesta sic togam hanc, ut norint omnes te in magistrorum collegium allectum esse. Sit tibi liberaris pilleus hic veluti ornamentum laureum, quo donabantum post certamen victores. Quant opere vero te dignitate adepta in totius academici coetus nomine gratulemur, testetur tibi hic noster amplexus.
Francis Camilleri. Loti tal-grad ta' Master of Science in Blockchain and Distributed Ledger Technologies fiċ-Ċentru ta' Teknoloġiji għad-Distributed Ledger. Preklarissimi kandidati, plakovi ta' autoritatibus universitati moderandi, prefectis dinius vos declarare kell laurea insignibus decoremni. Sponsor, Dr. Ian Kassar.
Tum in conspectum magnifice rector. Addicumus hos lectissimos candidatos, omnibus laure insignibus, more instituoque maiorum a te honestandos, qui a consiliaris et senatoribus huius universitatis dinissimis praesentati, te mox rogabunt ut, tibi attributa potestate, eos magistros reunites, atque in eus mondi, sensu cooptatos adscripsque, nomines atece edicas.
Ryan Falzon li ġie l-ewwel fil-kors tiegħu.
Ut citaque Deus ex oratus vertat bene, nobis attributa auctoritate, te magistrum eo iure censeri, et esse quo optimo sunt creati, ali edicimus et pronunciamus, tibique omnibus honoribus cum laurea conjunctis, fruendi et utenti facultatem facimus. Capeam collate tibi dignitatis ornamenta, et quid illa instituto maiorum portentat intellege. Gestas sic togam hanc, ut norint omnes te in magistrorum collegium allectum esse. Sit tibi liberalis pilleus hic veluti ornamentum laureum, quod donabantum post certamen victores. Quant opere vero te dignitate adepta in totius academici coetus nomine gratulemur, testetur tibi hic noster amplexus.
Claudia Camilleri. Damien Paul Kassar. Christine Tauma. Amer Zhaber. Loti tal-grad ta' Master in Education for Sustainable Development fiċ-Ċentru għall-Edukazzjoni u Riċerka Ambjentali. Preklarissimi kandidati, plakovi ta' autoritatibus universitati moderandi, prefectis dinius vos declarare kell laurea insignibus decoremni. Sponsor, Dr. Mark Mifsud.
Tuum in conspectum magnifice rector, addicimus os lectissimos candidatos, omnibus laurea insignibus, more institutoque maiorum a te honestandos, qui a consiliaris et senatoribus uius universitatis dinissimi presentati, te mox rogabunt ut, tibi attributa potestate, eos magistros renunties atque in eus modi, censu cooptatos adscriptosque, nomines atque edicas.
Fiona Vella Ċangura ġiet l-ewwel fil-kors tagħha.
Ut itaque Deus, exoratus, vertat bene, nobis attributa auctoritate, te magistram eo iure censeri, et esse, quo optimos sunt creati ali, edicimus et pronunciamus, tibique omnibus honoribus, cum laurea coniunctis, fruendi et utendi facultatem facimus. Capeam collate tibi dignitatis ornamenta, et quid illa instituto maiorum portendant intellege. Gesta sic togam hanc, ut norint omnes te in magistrarum collegium electam esse. Sit tibi liberalis pilleus hic veluti ornamentum laureum, quo donabantum post certamen victores. Quant opere vero te de dignitate adepta in totius academici coetus nomine gratuleamur, testetur tib hic noster amplexus.
In absentia che est indamoto de Gabriele. Nadia Vella. Issa nitlob lill-gradwati il-ġodda sabiex iqumu bil-wifqa biex flimkien ngħidu l-affermazzjoni. Ngħidu flimkien. Jiena nilqa l-onuri u l-privileġġi mogħtija li llum. Jiena nwiegħed li nħaddimhom b'responsabbiltà għas-servizz tas-soċjetà u li nagħmel hekk skont il-liġi u l-Kostituzzjoni ta' Malta u fil-waqt li jiena membru tal-Korp Akademiku tal-Università ta' Malta nagħti kelma sħiħa li nimxi dejjem skont il-liġijiet u r-regolamenti tagħha. Fisem l-Università nifraħ li gradwati l-ġodda lill-familji tagħkom f'din l-okkażjoni tas-sew speċjali. Proset! Inqumu bil-wifqa l-innu Malti. Nitlobkom tibqgħu bil-wifqa sakemm joħorġu l-pro-kanċillier, il-proretturi u l-korp akademiku.